No, I'm pretty sure menopause already set in. But you know what? That doesn't stop hot flashes. That doesn't stop certain hormonal responses.
That's very true.
I mean, oops, it is what it is.
Why don't they call it womenopause?
keep them females in their place. Oh no, don't do that.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Nope.
Yeah, say that again.
Nope.
What?
Ain't getting a sound about that shit.
No, do it.
Delete it.
Too late. I'm marking it.
Ah, you bastard. Don't you use that shit against me. Terrible.
Welcome to the KJNA podcast. I am Kevin.
I is the J. Jason. Not Derulo. But I'm Jason. Hello!
Hello. And today, we watched the show,
The
movie,
Yeah.
Vampire Hunter D.
This film came out in December of 1985, so we were two?
Yeah, we were two, but I remember watching it as a kid.
Yeah.
And like I said before, I'm not super huge into anime, honestly, but I know you were, and that's why we're doing this thing in the first place.
My first introduction into anime was full anime. I want to say was the very first series of the Bio Booster Armor Guyver, and apparently I was young enough to be like, there's way too much fucking blood and viscera going on here, so I'm not going to watch this anymore. So it took me a few years to get back into anime.
Well,
after that initial.
I wasn't super huge into anime, but I remember my friends were crazy into anime, and one of the things they really enjoyed, and that, like, it was one of those things where we watched Vampire Hunter D when we were kids, and it kind of just grew into a legend of sorts in our brain.
Okay.
Because we watched it one time, and anything that was in between the main points that we remembered, we just fantasized. Like, we would draw comics as kids when we were in middle school and high school. We drew comics together, talking, and Vampire Hunter D, like, someone had a character that was like Vampire Hunter D. All black, had the big wide brim hat, just like he did, and it was like, I don't know, I can't even describe it, but I remember that being an epic part of my childhood, because we watched it one time, because this is back in the days before the internet, and you know, the things where you could find basically anything you wanted at any time that you wanted.
Correct.
Back in the days when you had an idea and you couldn't remember who sang that song that was in your head, and you just had to wait until it appeared in your head, and then you could remember who sang that song, or you heard that song again.
Yep.
Before you could just Google the lyrics and immediately have the answer to your question.
Shazam. What is that song?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember there were so many times where I couldn't remember where the song came from, and so I had to listen to the radio, and I had to wait and hope I remembered what the song was, and then when you heard the song again, you're like, fuck yeah! That was it!
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're old. So,
83 here, motherfucker.
Yeah. Both. We're both 83.
We're the millennials that remember before cell phones. And we were young enough to be included in the internet and the cell phone age. And now we're older, and we're in the cell phones and the technology age, but we're not born and raised in it.
No. Unlike our parents, we adapted.
Yes, we adapted. Our parents were like, fucking technology, man!
Yep. So we went from rotary phones to button phones to, holy shit, I can fucking hold a phone in my hand and I'm not inside a house with a cord. Holy shit.
Yeah. I can take my cordless phone outside of the house.
Yeah.
Oh
shit, my phone's not just a phone anymore, it's a camera.
Oh my
Holy shit.
damn.
Hold up. This motherfucker right here. Hold up. Wait. You telling me
Uh-huh.
this motherfucker connects to the what? The World Wide Web?
And you don't even have to wait for the ding, 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 ding.
Mom, get off the phone! Mom, get off the phone!
Who's on here?
I'm checking the email!
You're checking your email. I can't hear you. I gotta call Lisa.
So yeah, we're old, and Vampire Hunter D is...
Really fucking old.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking old.
Yeah, that came out the year that my sister was born. Yeah,
Wow.
85. Wow. So, we rewatched it, and let me tell you, not as fucking amazing as I remember it being.
So, if you remember, our episode 2 was Go Shogun, the Timey Changer.
Oh, God.
So I'm not saying that this is that, but
But let me tell you, it.
if you've seen How I Met Your
I
Mother,
actually like it better than Go Shogun.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You didn't have to overthink this in comparison to Go Shogun. Go Shogun gave you at least something to be like, ooh, maybe I can think about that here and there.
But
Yeah,
it still
maybe
left
overthink.
everything open.
This was not a fever dream
yeah.
at all. This was what I would say an anime series could have been based on. And
It would have been better.
yes, if you had drawn it out.
Yes.
If you had drawn it out.
Instead of like a quick in and out.
Let's just dry hump this and hope it's great.
Oh God.
And you know, guess what? You know what? Because I know a lot of you folks are probably like, who have watched anime, you're like, but it was a really good movie. IMDb says 7.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes says 78%. And my anime list, 7 out of 10. So it's mild at best. It's mild. It's not great. It's
I don't know. I
in the
feel
middle.
like in art style
Arsenal for the 80s.
for the 80s.
For
yeah.
the 80s.
Yeah.
It-
It was okay.
It's for the time, 1. 2, you will notice that there is a lot of reused animation.
Oh my God.
And
And,
then-
you know
and-
what?
and-
As someone who pays attention to the art style, like you are the one who
Yeah.
who thinks about the voices and you think about like the past and shit. I think about the art style, and as I'm watching it, and if I've seen a scene more than once, it drives me fucking insane.
You know, I mean, I hate to fast forward on it because there's the one scene where, if you haven't watched it, I'm sorry, I'm going to go ahead and give away the scene early because it's a
Talk about the end.
no, not even the end.
Which part?
No, not right at the end because we'll get to that because.
Okay, yeah. We'll get there because
Yeah.
that's how we do it.
I'm sorry. I'm using a lot of eye movement right here because, yeah.
Yeah, from my point of view, he's using a lot of high movement.
But there is a scene that I'm going to give away where Dee's hand picks up dirt for like 3 scenes.
It's,
it's
the
the
same
Animation. And you're just like, Bowado.
It's the same animation.
The only thing
over
that changes,
and the same sound.
I think the only thing that changes is the little bit of outline in the ground where he grabs the dirt.
I don't even think that changes.
Eesh.
I feel like it's the same because when it goes down, it's bare ground.
When he goes down.
We're talking about vaginas now.
Frickin' freak. But that's what you're supposed to do.
But anyways, so let's actually talk about the fucking movie.
Let's talk about this.
So the beginning gives you the classic. It gives you the classic intro with like words, and it's like mutants and demons slither through a world of darkness and a futuristic, dystopia.
Yeah. So
blah, blah, blah.
Let's. So our setting is a dystopian future. Our opener is a creepy ass fucking castle with 2 moons in the background. Talk about demons, talk about mutants, and we're talking about. So you're saying that we're gonna mix what we're gonna say is modern, futuristic dystopia with a little bit of fantasy dystopia.
Yeah, it's like sci-fi mixed with
So
fantasy because it's like it's like the world became super sci-fi and then became dystopian future,
Right.
where fantasy ruled it. So like there's still futuristic implications, but at the same time, it's in a fantasy world. It's like if people who had magic and swords and shields and shit like that
Right.
had access to remnants of sci-fi technology.
right. So like, I guess what they would call old world technology.
Right.
So you just, you know, at this point, the '80s was really jumping onto a cyberpunk rally. So you had that mix of modernization, but with thoughts of the future, thoughts of what could be,
And also, everyone was really fucking emo.
and high.
And high.
High and emo.
High and emo, so
High
they were
emos.
hemo.
Hemostats?
I just brought it up.
Oh no.
High and emo. You were hemo.
Hemo.
Don't
Don't want you to get
basically,
twisted. Like this tea.
After they give that intro, you follow this girl with the biggest forehead you've ever seen. In
Oh, you know, you don't
anybody's
even
life.
know she has a big forehead until after this.
Well, yeah, you're right. She goes through, and this poor monster is eating apples, minding his own fucking business.
He was minding his own business.
He's
In the
minding his own business,
Seriously, I mean, to me,
eating an apple.
to me, it looks like a devil, demon dinosaur, maybe.
Yeah, it was like a demon dinosaur, or like
Like a-
super horse, or some shit. I don't know.
No, I
because
mean, he
there's
was
so
on
many
two-
monsters in this shit.
So black, 2 legs on the ground.
You only see a silhouette, basically.
Little tiny stumpy arms, red eyes, look kind of like a little T-Rex velociraptor kind of thing.
But he's eating an apple.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, why are you eating a fucking?
Yeah,
apple?
like leave his ass alone. What are you trying to?
I'm just eating vegetables and fruits.
I
I'm
just
not
gotta
eating
eat
flesh.
the food. I gotta get my fucking vitamin C.
And this bitch over here, I got a gun. I got a gun.
She has her laser gun, and she comes up. She's riding her horse.
But you know, they emphasize her cross too. They emphasize her
Yes, the cross on her neck.
cross. Yep.
It doesn't fucking matter because she's wearing barely anything.
Yeah. Apparently,
It's a
that's
dystopian
just-
future, but they still haven't found pants for
No,
girls.
pants and full length shirts
Yes.
are not happening.
Sleeves. Pants and sleeves are what they have not found still for women in the dystopian future. So, except for Etranger, actually, this is the only anime we've had in this show so far where they've shown some titties.
Here. Yeah.
In Etranger, they showed them for a second.
You know,
When she was getting eaten by a cat.
Yeah. Her fictitious death.
Yeah,
scene.
I don't want to talk about the show anymore because fuck that shit.
No. And no, it wasn't that early on that we saw boobs, right? We didn't
No,
see-
not in this one.
No,
It
no,
took a
it
while.
was it took a while.
Yeah, because the first time we see it was. Anyways, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to
But anyways, so she comes up and she shoots this poor innocent dinosaur eating an apple.
Yeah.
Because she's a bitch. Yeah. What is the face? What is the face?
I mean, if
He
you're-
wasn't attacking anyone.
No,
He was eating a fucking apple out of a tree.
once again, this is all. I mean, this is also within a time period where a lot of aggression, and you know, it transcends time.
She went out of her area to find anything.
You know what? I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna definitely give you that because
She wasn't in her little abode and
no,
suddenly
she was
saw
she
a
was
monster.
not she was not at
No.
her farm minding her damn business.
Yeah.
No, she was running through the woods,
Finding something
determined
to shoot.
to find something to shoot. And I even I noted that because I was like, why is she running so hard
Yeah.
for this damn thing?
She has no idea. She was just running until she saw something that wasn't trees, so she could shoot it with her laser rifle.
Was it? You know what? You know what?
No, I don't. Explain.
The weird ass design of that goddamn rifle.
All the rifles made no
that-
fucking sense.
That shit was a combination. And ladies and gentlemen, I
It's 15 minutes in and we're still bitching about the fucking intro.
And you know, the intro is only 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. 5 minutes before they even say that this is called Vampire Hunter D.
Oh my god.
That is the worst part. This intro seems like it goes on forever because it's like a whole prelude to the actual story. It's like...
It feels like they made it separately from
30
the rest
pages!
of it because the girl looks different from when she looks like the rest of the show.
So these scenes take place at night. They take place at night. So she is running and she shoots this motherfucker in the neck, and then she calls for her horse and she jumps upon the horse as this thing goes running off, and she's like, bow! Shoots in the neck again, and then bow! Shoots literally the top part of its head above the nose.
Yeah, from the nose up, off.
And she gets off and she pokes it a couple of times. She's like, all right, his
Yeah, because this laser rifle also has a fucking bayonet.
Yeah, bayonet. It's like literally, it's not even a separate knife that you can take off. It's just built onto it.
It's just pointed at the end of it.
Yeah.
So she can poke shit.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. So she thinks it's dead, and then 2 seconds later, the thing rears back up and hits the horse and bites it. And you're like, oh no, it's got my horse. And she shoots the son of a bitch about 3 more times and makes sure again, pow, 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 pow.
Yeah, she shoots it like 8 times on the ground.
Okay, great. And then she looks back and she's like, all right, everything's fine. A goddamn werewolf pops up out of fucking nowhere and grabs the fucking horse, and she's like, oh no, it's got my horse.
But the werewolf picks up the horse.
Yeah.
Gets shot once and is like, fuck you, and runs off.
Yeah, with the fucking horse still in tow. So guess what? This bitch out in the wild. She's in the wild. Werewolf's like, fuck you, got your horse, love it. I got meats.
Peace.
And then lightning crashes. Guess what? That's not the only fucking monster. 2 monsters. I'm still fine.
3 monsters.
3. And you see a motherfucker in a goddamn cloak standing on a goddamn rock in the middle of nowhere, looking at her ass like, what up?
What up, tree?
Damn, bitch, you look delicious.
And, she looks delicious despite having a mullet with pigtails.
No.
Yeah. She got super short hair. She got like a crew cut on the top.
No, if you gonna
and pigtails.
If you're gonna mock this bitch, she looks like a blonde Wendy with a 5 head. For you who
That's right, because it's an increase from 4 head.
Yeah,
5 head.
If
maybe even 6 head.
I'm sorry. I mean, I love Christina Ricci, but certain hairstyles make her look like she got a 5 head too.
This
love her to
death.
Now, y'all will know what I'm talking about if y'all seen Christina Ricci in movies. Y'all will know what I'm talking about, because the 5 head is very indistinguishable. It's indistinguishable now. You can see that shit. It's not hard to find it. Now, at night, this bitch didn't look like she had a 5 head, but I tell you what, the following day.
Oh, but one of the things that happens during is when that werewolf or one of the monster, one of them breaks her necklace.
The werewolf.
The werewolf breaks her necklace.
So her
which
her
has a little cross on it.
Yeah, her little
which they make a
cross
big
is gone.
deal of.
Yeah,
and that's when the dude on the rock appears.
Yep. Even though, never mind, I'm not gonna say that yet.
And he was like, "Bitch, I'm gonna get some payment."
Yep. You on my land? You way outside your jurisdiction.
Yeah.
I demand some reparations.
Yep.
Cloak up. Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah. And then it cuts to
D riding on a horse.
Yeah.
In what looks like a desert, which I can only assume was a dilapidated city because it looks like at least 2 pieces of a building.
Yeah.
In the background.
This is like super, super, super dystopian future.
Yeah,
like,
this is. I mean.
I don't know.
Yeah. You will not know what time period because
there are fucking monsters everywhere, and bits of everything seem like bits of places you've seen before at the same time.
Right. I would compare if you've seen it, Fists of the North Star, kind of in dystopian.
I have not seen it.
Oh, so we putting it on the list. It's on the list.
All right, it's on the list.
It's on the list.
Okay, so girl's name is Doris.
Yeah, Doris.
And
Lang.
she is basically hanging out on the road trying to find vampire hunters.
This bitch over here.
Because she realizes that the person that was on the rock bit her ass. And
ain't no. I just found out that nigga put his lips on my neck, and then I was like,
oh, my throat. Oh, my throat. Oh.
Now, ladies, I'm sorry, but you know damn well if somebody had long canines and you was like, ooh, he kissing on my neck, oh, that feels nice, and then oh shit,
I want the blood.
Oh, what my neck burning? Oh, motherfucker. Yeah, you know damn well what I'm talking about. You know damn well.
But anyways, bitch got bit by this dude named Magnus Lee.
Magnus Lee. Now this motherfucker did not look like a Magnus Lee.
No.
Magnus maybe, but Lee.
The last name is Lee.
That's a push. That's a hard push.
He's a vampire.
Okay.
So she got bit.
Yeah.
And she was waiting on the road, basically waiting for vampire hunters to come by.
Right.
And then along comes D.
And you don't know his name is D, obviously. But she's like, oh, are you a hunter? He don't say shit. Strong silent type of parent.
And then she hits her whip at him, and he's like, shifts to the left. And she's like, God damn it. My one weakness, moving out of the way.
Ooh, you've got some moves. What? Are you serious? I'm going to steal it from Family Guy. He listlessly moved to the left.
Her one weakness, movement.
Holy shit. Holy shit, chick. All right, I got something for you. So she throws out the whip again, and this time it splits into 5, and it wraps around his neck and his arms and his legs.
And she's like, I guess you're not as strong.
Like, are you serious? Are you serious? Because he's just like, he doesn't even twitch. And she just pops off him, and she's like, what?
Yeah, and then he like flexes his muscles, and all of them disappear.
Yeah.
And she's like,
how dare you?
But then she's like, I'm so sorry I had to attack you.
You're a special kind of hunter, aren't you?
You're so special. Are you a vampire hunter?
I'm not going to be sorry for tearing this film that obviously
this film gets no lube.
No, I won't.
Stick a.
I won't.
I'm not going to go.
I won't. I will not be nice.
Movie. Okay. I'm sorry.
You know what? If you want to put your child in front of this movie and be like, "This is what,"
you were out of your fucking mind.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
No, but basically, she's like, "Please help me. I'll give you. I don't have a lot of money, but I'll give you 3 meals a day, and you can fuck me if you want to."
You know, it's nicely wrapped. Like, you can lay with me if you want to.
Yeah, and Dee's like, I'm dark badass.
Yeah.
All you see is my cloak and my eyes, but
yeah,
I'm a badass. He hardly says a fucking word.
Yeah.
But then he ends up going back to his country.
No, yeah, he talks.
Country farm.
As soon as she shows him the bite, he's like, how long ago was it when you got bit?
And she moans incessantly when he touches her. He like moves her head slightly to the side and pulls it down. Every time she's like, ooh.
Like, I'll tell you what. If you listen to our BS podcast, you'll get that reference.
Anyways.
Next episode. Back onto our main. God. She takes him back to her farm, where they meet her younger brother, Dan. And Dan almost immediately takes a liking to Dee, but before meeting
Dee, every fucking child does.
Yeah, let me just fucking spout off some random shit to you. But before that, there's this mist monster that they come across, and it fucking apparently just eats a goddamn sheep.
Yeah, it just touches a sheep
and fucking rips its back
apart.
Yeah, rips the fucking back off of it basically.
It's just bones left.
And apparently, him shooting at it causes it to stop
and run away.
But they have pillars around the farm that are supposed to keep out demons and I guess
because it shows at one point like this jellyfish monster just runs into it randomly. Yeah.
So apparently, I guess it depends on the strength of the creature.
Yeah.
If they can cross the barrier.
Yeah.
It's things like that I feel should be explained. Yeah, should be explained.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, there are some things that you don't fully explain because, like, how do they know of that technology? they're fucking barely living off of, whatever they can find in a shitty city.
Yeah. Would you... I mean, at this point, I'd think it more like Wild West.
They're country girls, like country kids and whatever.
It's more like stage towns and whatnot. It's nothing huge.
But how do they know of these force fields?
Right.
What's protecting the town? Because they never mention that. Huge ass town with hundreds of people,
but
they don't all have force fields around them.
Yeah, you never see an encounter of a beast of any kind.
But anyways.
Yeah. So let's keep with the story. So they meet Dan. He's shooting at a flesh monster. She comes back with D, who's, I guess, reluctantly or just agreed to help her out. Yeah. Because he hasn't accepted payment or anything like that. Nope.
And then she goes to the city.
Mm-hmm. With D in tow and Dan.
Yeah. And she goes to the city and she meets Greco.
Yeah.
Who is the mayor's son. Yeah. And he's like, "What's up, girl?
Yeah.
I heard you got bit. I won't tell anyone if you give me a little bit of that tongue. Blah, blah, blah.
And see, not just that. Look, I will make sure you get some of the best vampire hunters around as long as you give up that ass.
Mm-hmm.
What's up? And, being a strong, independent woman, she got to put this motherfucker in his place. She throw out the whip. Click it, clock out.
Knocks him on his ass.
I'm a boss.
Yeah. And then he gets angry and he's like, "What? I'm not going to tell anyone if you don't, give up a little bit of that."
Mm-hmm.
And then she doesn't give up any of the.
And he basically runs
and he
out
runs
the
out
alley.
to the street. And
She been bit. Fuck this bitch.
And Dan's like,
yeah.
She got bit?
Realization. Yeah. Why would she start wearing this?
And he's a vampire hunter.
No, this is when the wording got weird. I was like, how fast did you guys make this film and why did y'all do it
Yeah.
So, when he points out that D is working for her, he says, and she's working for him rather than he's working for her. Now, you have to really pay attention to this. And
We're nerd enough to pay attention to this because we both noticed.
Yeah, it was... I was like, hold up, wait a second, what the fuck? That's not right. She fucking hired him. Why would she be working for him? That doesn't make any sense.
No, he's working for her.
Exactly. So, and see, this is another one of the films. And, if we watched it when we were kids, so I'm guessing if this is accurate, because there's been two English versions. Again, there's the Streamlined Pictures from 1992, and then there's the Toho Sentai Film Works from 2015.
Oh shit! I don't know which one I know.
No, because this is accurate, because I'm pretty sure this is the exact same voices I heard when I was younger, so I'm guessing they're the same voices as you heard when you were younger. Probably. So they had to be. So our voice cast is from 1992, at least.
Okay.
At best. So we're listening to D and. I'm not going to say it yet. Michael McConaughey. Not McConaughey.
Yeah, I was about to say, you mean McConaughey?
No, McConaughey.
All right.
Yeah, no, we're
My
not
favorite thing about high school girls.
Doris was played by Barbara Goodson. Count Magnus, Jeff Winkless. Dan was Laura Cody. I really... don't know many of the other names.
I don't know any of those names you just listed.
I know, because I'm like, I don't think they were very... Well, I can't say they probably had very good, lucrative...
I'm sure they did, but I don't know
for the time in the 80s to 90s and probably early 90s, but they probably have not done a lot of stuff.
But,
or their voices have changed.
So anyways, on the fucking movie.
Yeah.
He goes out and acts like a douchebag and tells everyone in the town, and then she coincidentally, thereafter... goes to the shop and is like, "I need rations," and blah blah blah, and he's like, "I ain't selling to someone who was bit by a vampire."
Right, and this is all after they've talked to the mayor about what's happened. He was going to be basically like, you're going to get interned into this old village that was ransacked by the fucking count like 50 years ago from the last person that he bit. Friggin' doctor was like, dude. No, 50 years ago, 31 people fucking died because we put somebody who he bit there. He fucking went apeshit. Yeah, let's not do that.
So the vampire that bit her
Count Magnus is
yeah.
apparently like the lord of the territory, or was there before anybody else was there.
Yeah, so
and
he
used to rule the
murdered
land.
31 people because the chick he bit, if he bit you,
Yeah.
that means
you're gonna be his
you're
wife.
going to be his bride. Yeah. And so they locked her up into this containment place, which they apparently said 50 years ago wasn't even livable then.
Right.
And because they locked her up, he went and killed 31 people in the town.
Yep.
And then she ended up dying of madness anyways.
Yep. Because she felt responsible for all those deaths.
Yeah, so they were like, so let's send you there, Doris. And she's like, no.
No, I'm going to take care of this. Or I'm going to have Dee help me take care of this. So.
Yeah, and Dee is standing silent and giving her brother words of encouragement and love and whatever the fuck.
Yeah, because, Dee, strong silent type, but at the same time, he's trying to do his best in this situation because it seems kind of wonky.
He's very much helping her brother, like he's being a fatherly type.
Right.
To her younger brother.
Because no, it's not even that first night. It's that concurrent night.
Yeah.
That they tell you that their father was a werewolf hunter, and he was the only hunter going against those monsters. Nobody else in the town did shit.
Yeah. And then whenever they brought up vampires, he would say, "Ask a vampire hunter."
Like, really?
Really? That was his wise words. I don't know anything about vampires. Ask a vampire hunter.
Like, bruh, could you not?
But anyway, so they go back to their country home afterwards when they decide, they're just going to go and stay home. They put up their little force field around the wall.
So what they say
Dee
is
sleeping on the couch.
Yeah. They say that the blood moon that's supposed to happen the next night tells vampires that female blood is gross. So they're like,
yeah, just on the blood moon.
He's going to come for you tonight. So almost as soon as that is said, we flash forward apparently some other few hours later, and I'm like, why is this?
Which one of them is making that noise?
Who is breathing so heavy? Is it the horse, the guy, or the girl on the horse?
But anyway,
she shouldn't be breathing that heavily.
Someone is talking to Dee as he's like unsheathing his sword and looking at all the weaponry that her dad had, and he's like, "Oh, Dee, you love her, don't you?" You're like, motherfucker, you haven't even known her 24 hours.
Yeah, there's.
You love her, don't you?
Man,
but you don't think you could love someone like that, do you, Dee?
I'm gonna go ahead and use modern terminology. Nigga, you acting sus.
But you don't know who's talking.
Yeah, there's no visible person talking to him. It's just like.
But Dee is talking back, like, you're out of line.
Yeah, like, bro, you need to
calm down.
Know your place.
Know your fucking place. But then Dee tells her that the vampire is going to come tonight, and the best thing for her to do is to be asleep.
Yep.
So he pulls out a glove.
Well, yeah, pulls off his glove.
Face on his hand, and he just touches it to her shoulder, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And then she passes out.
Out the fuck.
Goes, I'm sorry for hitting the table again. I don't want to.
Yeah, don't do that.
Problem like last time.
No. So, number one, why has this motherfucker got a face in his hand? Number two, why is his fucking face in his hand talking to him?
One of many questions that we've left wondering.
So, yeah, exactly. That shit is so fucking wide open. And you know what? I'm pretty sure this is based on an actual comic or a Japanese comic.
Manga or some shit?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, there's so many friggin' drawings of him. And his hair is always long and flowing and black. And he's always pale skin, of course, because he's a fucking... And, anyway.
You'll learn right after that when the people who are coming to attack her to get her actually appear.
Ray Gensley!
Yeah, that he is a vampire.
And Countess Lamika Lee. The Count's daughter. With a equally large forehead.
Yeah, it's a forehead fight between her...
Battle of the Five Heads!
Battle of the Five Heads. Ready, set, fight!
And
the foreheads.
Let's get it on!
Forehead fight. But he goes, turns out Dee is a vampire, which is half vampire, half human.
Yep.
Because vampire fucked a human and human had a baby.
Yay!
So
he can suffer through the daylight.
His horse is also a cyborg horse.
Yeah, it's a hold on, it's a DL4.
Yeah, DL4
Some shit.
type, but it's a cyborg horse.
Yeah, so he has a special horse. No flesh. No flesh,
but it's just a
DL4
cyborg horse with horns. What the fuck not? Because that's the only time it's brought up.
Yep.
The horse doesn't die. It just appears.
Thanks,
everywhere.
Dan, for that little tidbit.
Thanks, Dan, for the tidbit.
Yep.
Little kid's like, yeah, this is the DL4 model, isn't it? Motherfucker, you lived on a farm your whole life. What the fuck you know about DL4?
Right.
You look on the internet. No.
Internet?
Yeah, they ain't even got the internet.
What's Wi-Fi?
Yeah, what's a Wi-Fi?
What that is? How do you charge that? Is it solar powered?
So, the two people that the Count sent.
Yeah, so we got Regenzi, who, you know, he just throws this friggin' boomerang-looking thing and starts cracking.
Blade or some
yeah,
shit.
just fucking crack some goddamn tombstones. I'm like, where the fuck are these tombstones come from? Is that like a
Just
family
us.
graveyard? Yeah, just no one fucking around. You know, D comes out and he's like, what up, bitch?
Yeah, and then they about to fight.
They start talking smack. Hey, yo, we coming to get this chick up in that house, right? You got to get out the way.
And D's like,
no.
Nah, bitch.
No. So Regenzi's like, all right, cool. Fling! And apparently this thing he uses is not a boomerang, but it freaking spins. It spins all kind of. It's like Captain America's shield. It does not follow the rules of physics.
Yes, but it's just a spinning blade.
Yeah, it looks like a boomerang at first, but as soon as it starts spinning, that motherfucker's all over the goddamn place. It goes up, it stops, spins a bit, comes back down, it gets deflected, it comes back,
It always ends up back in his hand.
Yeah, it always comes back to his hand though. What the fuck is it? Thank you, animators, for not having a clear story arc for that fucking blade. I want to know. I want details. Details.
But anyways, D tries to stab him.
Yep. Guess what?
And somehow he was like, "Oh, I've heard of mutants who could change time and space." Because as he's stabbing him, it's going
into his
own stomach. And
then
out his back.
Yeah, out. It's going into Regenzi's gut, but coming out of D's back. That shit does not make sense at all. Mutant who
and that
can
is
twist.
also the only time he uses it this entire movie.
Like,
you see him so many times, but he only uses that ability the one time.
The only thing that he keeps constant is the use of his weird boomerang-like blade. That's the only thing that Regenzi keeps constant.
Yeah, so the two people who came to get Doris, one is a vampire, and who is apparently the Count's daughter.
Right.
And the other one is like a mutant.
Yeah,
who is hoping to become
he's
a vampire at some point.
The reason he's
working
the one
with the boomerang blade.
Yeah, he's working for the Count in exchange for that possibility of becoming a noble. Well, apparently nobles are vampires. Commoners are just regular people. Yeah. How this hierarchy came into being is anybody's freaking guess. So, any huge. Lamika. So after this whole confrontation, obviously, they did not get the girl.
Yeah. So they went back in chain.
And apparently, the Count didn't even send them to do this. They did it on their own. So he got pissed. So Lamika goes and she's talking to apparently a portrait of Dracula, who is their ancestor. And she's not cool with the fact that her dad wants this common woman in her house or in her lineage. She's like, yeah, that's just gross. The Count already said, yeah, I'm going to get you. So he sends Regenzi to get her and take her to her quarters. You got to time out. She's like,
so both of them need to go to their rooms because they've been bad. The mutant and the vampire.
Yep. So Regenzi's like, apparently oversteps his bounds, touched Lamika on the shoulder, and she's like, smack up! How dare you touch me? How dare you even think you can become somebody like me, motherfucker?
She's like, I'm a noble. I'm a vampire. I'm a noble. Blah, 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 blah,
blah. Your nasty blood don't even belong in this goddamn house. So this motherfucker got a little blood come trickle down his cheek, and he's like, nah, he ain't even like it. He just gives that little smile like, hey, fuck you, bitch. Whatever.
So then it goes into D's like, fuck this.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and charge in.
And he's gonna just go attack the castle himself.
And
he goes in, and it's like monster after monster after monster, so, giant monsters.
I find it funny because, like you said, there's a lot of one-offs in this fucking movie.
Yes,
there's a lot of one-offs. He has a goddamn charm on his belt.
Yeah, that he just turns on and scares the monsters.
Yeah, all these low-level demons or whatever they are, like, oh no, we ain't gonna touch you, whatever.
But there are like hundreds of monsters in this one little cave.
It's like a fucking corridor that he has to walk through, and they're just everywhere, just lining the corridor.
And he just walks through with his little charm activated.
Yeah.
And there's one-offs everywhere that drives me crazy. It's like, if this is an ability that you need to be known for, you should use it multiple times.
Right.
Maybe it's me being kind of a douchebag, but he should use it multiple times. Like the one thing with
Don't.
No, I'm gonna go there.
No. Let's talk about the little flying pterodactyl guy who pops up in the middle of that.
He's popped up multiple times in that movie, though.
Well, hold on. He popped. Let's timeline.
Okay.
Let's get the timeline. All right, pterodactyl dude pops up. And he's all he apparently he don't fucking say words. He just like a goddamn crow and shit. And D fights him off a little bit. And then there's a fucking giant who pops up off the fucking wall. And he's like, I'm gonna throw shit at you. Yeah. And it blows up. And he's like, just dodges out of the way. And then motherfucker's gone. Like, where the fuck did you go?
Yeah.
Where did you go? And then apparently, I'm guessing their only job was to lead them to Regenzi, who's like, guess what, motherfucker? I'm gonna stop you right here. Throws a little boomerang blade. And D's like, I'm gonna stop it. Gets past him. But it wasn't going to hit him. It literally chops the floor off below him, and he's like, oh shit, drops.
And then he drops forever.
And here comes the one-off.
And then the one-off is his fucking cape, like Doctor Strange, holding himself over the edge of it like comes up like a hand.
And like
and grabs the edge of the cape. And that's the only time his cape has, his cape
does that.
Has any type of sentience.
Or solidity.
Yeah. That's the only time his cape comes in. And I'm just like, what? If it's a frequent thing, why can't it happen multiple times? Like, it's always there. No, right. That is the one time. His cape comes up, grabs the lip of the thing, and then, what's his name, the mutant?
Regenzi.
Regenzi takes his little knife blade, goes, shing, cuts off the dirt, and then he falls down the pit.
So, then he starts walking through the tunnel. It looks like a freaking old subway tunnel.
Yeah.
Basically. So he walks and he walks and he walks. And he finally comes to this weird lake. So he's like, all right, cool. Starts walking. And then these three buck-naked bitches come popping up out the goddamn water playing little tiny harps. Like this is some goddamn...
Buck-naked bitches.
How do I describe that? They were buck-ass nude. Buck-ass nude. They nude. They ain't wearing no goddamn clothes. They got long-ass hair. They got nice little eyes.
That's covering the essential regions.
Yeah, only the essential regions, but I can sure see some titties. Right. I saw titties.
Right.
I saw 6 titties. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6
Did you count
titties.
Them specifically because you were excited about the titties?
Mostly because they were like, who are you? And he was like,
who are you?
Who are you? Well, who the fuck are you? Well, we are.
You're looking at your notes.
Sorry, the titties.
I just called them the sirens. They're basically sirens.
They were basically sirens.
But they were like, "We gonna kill you. We're gonna kill you. We're gonna kill you."
Yeah, they had a terrible way of talking. Okay, I can't even. Who? There was another group. Austin Powers. Fembots.
Are we talking about fembots?
Fembots. They talked exactly like fucking fembots.
Okay.
Main fembot said shit, and then the other ones started saying the same shit that the main one said.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how them bitches worked. I was like, y'all ain't got your own personalities. Y'all got to copy bitch.
No, so it's basically, they were all
Siren
one
A?
person anyways.
Are you saying it was Hydra? It was
basically,
Hydra?
Because they never showed their feet.
That is true. They never did.
Because they were kind of cloaked at the top, and then as soon as D stepped into the water towards them, they had like their hairs wrap around his feet and wrap around his chest.
Yep.
And wrap around him, and then they're instead of hot chick's titties, they turned into
big ass
dragon heads.
Yeah, I thought it was dragon heads, but they was like we witches of the snake witches or some shit.
Yeah, and then they licked him until his life force.
Stop. No,
That's what happened.
You're giving too much away. We gonna drain your life force.
Then we're gonna drain your life force.
Yeah. So as D is going to go ahead and try to take out the count, he sends these mutants. I guess pterodactyl dude, the giant guy.
Yeah, well, he's
and
caught
Rigenzi.
by the sirens.
Yeah. So he sends those three out to go grab Doris and bring her to him. So it's funny, the doctor that we meet in the scene with the mayor is at the farm as well.
Yeah, it's the doctor and her brother and Doris.
Yeah, so the doctor,
Dr. Dan and Doris.
Yeah, Dr. Faringo or Dr. Faring. Dr. Faring.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Dr. Faring.
Faringo in Japanese, Faring here. And he basically took on a kind of like fatherly role after her parents passed.
Yeah.
So, anyway, he's at the house. Giant dude straightly, basically punches through the freaking front of their house and then opens his mouth. And who's inside his mouth? Some weird demon dude.
With spiders in his
spiders
back.
in his back. You know what?
Say it.
Seems like a ripoff of Ninja Scroll. Or did Ninja Scroll come out?
I didn't watch Ninja Scroll.
You know what? I feel like that's bullshit.
What's bullshit?
That you ain't seen Ninja Scroll. I feel like Ninja Scroll is like literally something that has been in America for ages. And guess what?
Guess how much of a shit I've given?
Titties.
0.
Hey, fuck you.
Fuck you. I love you.
What's your name? Toby. Fuck you, Toby.
Fuck you, Ezekiel. What's your name? So, anyways.
Content unlocked. Meme fight.
Fuck you, Toby.
Fuck you. Don't you say it. Don't you say it.
Don't you talk about my mama.
Your mother.
we built a fire over there, right there. Oh, that's nice. I'll fuck your mama next to it.
We are so off base.
Anyways,
So fucking off
God. So
throw spiders on Dr. Faring. Pterodactyl dude grabs Dan, and Rigenzi with his fucking audacity. The count says he wants your ass over at the castle.
And
As long as you let them know. My friends like to eat raw meat, and your brother and the doctor, they're looking pretty raw.
And she's like, if you touch them, I'll bite my tongue off. And then I'll bleed to death right here. And he's like, very quickly was like,
man, don't eat them motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Don't do it. Don't do it
anymore. I'm sorry. Okay, so then he doesn't do it.
Right. So, soon as she's and God damn, that's fast. All right. So anyway, then they're at the castle, super fast, and the count's like, blah de blah de blah. Yo, vampire here. The Sisters of Lick have him.
That's an appropriate name. Because he's like, they've been at him for a day. And then it cuts to them, and every time they have like their human faces on a dragon neck, and they're licking him. They're like, your life force is so delicious. You're half vampire. We could probably last another day and a half.
Yeah.
And you never see the third head.
Yeah.
Where's
yeah.
the third head, D?
Now.
Is it up his ass?
Now. When we were talking about this earlier, because we
discussed shit.
we decided to go a little early. We were like, man, where is that third head? I don't know if she was in his. I don't know if she was in his ass or she was just wrapped around his cock. Because I'll tell you what, that nigga was like, ugh.
Yeah, he wasn't moving
until he got pissed off enough and his eyes turned blue and he was like, fangs started growing. They were like,
And they're like, "What's happening?"
and his ass straight bit one of them. She was like, "Ah, what the fuck?"
And then blood came out, and then it was blah blah blah. There are piles of heads.
Yeah, he started. Apparently, he started just fucking ripping heads off the goddamn stuff. He was like, "Man, I'm done with y'all bitches. I got to go."
So,
I'm sorry if I'm getting a little too ghetto. Sorry, folks who are in the ghetto, because I tell you what, y'all gotta watch this shit. This is some crazy.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Okay. So he chops his way out of there.
Oh,
he
yeah.
goes back to where Doris
Would
is
you
in
say
the...
chop? I feel like more of a chewed his way out.
Yeah, but there were some clean cuts on them necks. So, anyway, the 3-headed dragon that used to have titties was chopped off.
Mm-hmm.
He goes up and he grabs Doris, who's in the main entry room, because the vampire lead disappeared at some point. He grabs her out of the bed.
Yeah. That's
right, Doris is in the bed. He grabs her out of the bed and then books it out of there, kills a bunch of monsters on his way out.
Yeah, the friggin' then yeah. So he managed. So our 3 mutants that showed up to grab Doris in the first place. He cuts the belly of the pterodactyl dude. Runs out, sees Spider Dude being a dick, and he
chops him in half.
Oh no, because we haven't even talked about Vortex Hand.
Oh, that's right, Vortex Hand. Yes, because little creepy dude shoots the spider webs and the spiders.
He takes off his glove
out of his back.
Little freaking unleashes his face hand, and his face hand is just like it sucks all the fucking spiders in, and he's like, nom nom. It crunches them up, and like, oh shit. And little dude's like, oh fuck, and starts trying to run. And D has a sword literally the length of his body. So I'm guessing about like at least 6 feet.
It changes every once in a while.
It's friggin', it's got to be at least 6 feet. He's straight downward chop, and that nigga's split in half, and they cross out, and they keep going, and they keep going.
Running, and he's got the girl over his shoulder the whole
he's
time.
About to run. He's about to take this big ass jump across the fucking bridge, and Giant's like, man, fuck you, yoink. He's like, oh, okay. Stab. John's like, ah! He's got one of his little splody balls in his hand now. So D does what? He hacks the fucking ropes holding up the goddamn bridge, and the bridge fucking falls, and Giant Dude's like, oh shit! And it hits, and big old plume of smoke, and D's like, roll out! And Giant Dude still got his fucking glowy ball in his hand. He's like, oh shit! And BAM! Huge explosion. What happened to Giant Dude? Oh yeah, he fucking lost his hand, top of his shoulder, half his face, but he still gets the fuck back up. And I'm like, are you fucking shitting me right now? Like, half your face is gone. Stay the fuck down. You're done. What does D do? Shite! Right through the fucking mouth. And we're like, and we're going home. Bye.
So, I just let you have that one. I was enjoying watching you animate and visually and audio.
It was fucking hilarious.
Explain what
I
do
cannot do it, Joe.
Also got caught in that bridge.
Yeah, because he wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah,
he wasn't going anywhere.
His right hand was caught in the bridge. His left hand had the explodey thing.
Yeah, explody.
Yeah.
Don't know what
So
it is.
D gets home with the girl.
Yeah, with Doris. Everything's cool.
Yeah, he gets home with the girl, and I don't know. They keep talking about how much they love each other.
Do they talk about how
They don't talk to each other, but they separately discuss how much they love each other. And it's like, motherfucker, it's been less than 24 hours. You need to calm your shit.
What the fuck? I mean, chick literally threw whips at you. Like, you ain't strong enough.
But then,
Dan goes chasing after the goddamn mist monster that's constantly coming to their fucking farm trying to eat their goddamn sheep.
Yeah, and then he disappears with a note because what's his name? The mutant
guy.
Regenzi has kidnapped Dan.
Now, I think we did kind of glance over the. Did we? No. Have we guys? Oh.
Which one?
Did we glance over? We glanced over the part of Regenzi saying he's going to fucking get D. That's
right.
Because
he
as D was leaving, Pterodactyl dude apparently even with his gut cut open was still like, I'm gonna fucking go after him. Goes out to the forest trying to catch him. dude Regenzi sees moving in the trees, and he just throws his fucking boomerang thing. Guess what? Didn't hit D.
Kills a pterodactyl dude.
Killed his boy. Like, fuck.
And he's like, I ain't going back until I kill D.
Right. So, he ends up in the town.
Staying at the...
At the inn. Like, are you serious? You're a fucking... What?
And
You work for the count.
the douchebag who was trying to fuck.
Like, I heard the count's messenger came. Give me the key to the goddamn communication room or whatever.
Yeah.
So, messenger says, hey, count's not going to kill you. Here's this candle that stops anybody who has vampire blood in their veins in their tracks. Straight paralysis. Greco hears that shit and he's like, ooh. So, fast forward to where we are now with Dan getting straight kidnapped and a note being left saying, D come along, or the boys dead.
Yeah. So, D goes to try and fight, and mutant dude, who I can never remember his fucking
Regenzi.
He's like, oh, I have this candle that paralyzes people with vampire blood, so I'm going to paralyze D, and he pulls out the
pulls out the fucking candle.
Like, it's not lit.
I'm like, was it ever lit? Because I sure as fuck don't remember it being lit when the motherfucker opened the goddamn case with it.
Chops off his hand.
Yeah. So motherfucker's like,
ah! And he's like, what the fuck? And he falls to the ground and he's like, I'll fucking kill you, man.
Be like, bruh, I taught you a lesson. I'm gonna leave you with your life.
Yeah,
That's
and he leaves him with, handless.
Yeah.
Goes about his business.
Right.
And then the doctor comes to Doris' house.
Yes.
And the doctor's like, hey, we need to go to a safe house.
I found a spot.
D's gonna take care of shit. I found a good place. Let's go there. And then you feel like something's off anyway.
Like ladies and gentlemen, that it's so fucking sus. It's so fucking sus. But anyway, yeah.
So they take their
little carriage.
Carriage down a mountain pass, and suddenly the vampire.
Yeah,
Lamika appears and is like, and he goes, "Oh no, it's a vampire. Let's turn around." And she's like, "We're on a mountain pass, dumbass. We can't turn around. I'm just gonna fight." And she pulls out her whip.
And he straight yoinks that shit. Just once again, sus. Straight yoinks that shit. And what does he do?
Grabs the necklace.
Yep. Which I was like, hold on, wait a second.
For no fucking reason.
It's like his downward sweat was just like, ooh, let me grab a tit.
And then he rips the
cross off her neck.
At the same time, one titty.
And jumps off the carriage.
I'm actually a monster. I got bit.
Yeah, apparently he got bit almost immediately following the attack upon them that had Doris get taken to the castle in the first place. You were like, what? Are you fucking shitting me?
Yeah.
Anyway, so this motherfucker, completely different personality now. Like, ooh, I just realized.
She looks like a woman now.
Yeah, it's fucking nasty.
As opposed to a daughter, like I thought with her before.
Like, nigga, you just went super pedo all of a sudden. Like, why did you do that? Lamika was like, nah, we ain't having this. So, doctor, one more thing. Stabby! And he's like, ow! And as he's falling off the cliff, he's back to his normal self.
Here's a daughter. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
I'm like, yeah. See, that's that weird shit. Now, I'm not going to go into it right now. I'll go into it on a different podcast. I'll go into it.
What are you going into?
Why in cinema, vampires, if they're normal people and they get turned, one personality, as soon as they get turned, it's a fucking different personality. Like they just...
Maybe it's the true self.
Man, that's some bullshit.
We can't get into this shit.
No, we ain't doing it. Exactly.
Vampire comes up. And she's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you because
I'd rather be dead than live as a vampire. Oh, well, you know what? I don't want to give my dad the satisfaction of having you even around. So, as the farther you get away, the better everything's gonna be. But before they can even put that plan into action, a shadowy figure with the actual candle,
with a bright light,
bright light,
shows up, and the vampire Lamika is like,
and you're like, what? I was like, is this bitch dying from sun poisoning or something? Because she's like fucking having a seizure.
Or some shit.
And then she just passes the fuck out. And as soon as that happens, the shadowy figure becomes Greco. And he's got the fucking candle.
Yeah, because he was spying on the mutant
Regenzi.
while he was having that exchange, and somehow he switched the candles.
Yeah, apparently in the middle of the night, he decided, I'm going to just roll up in this nigga's room. But
he takes the real candle, faked it. That's why Regenzi got his hand chopped off, because he had a fake candle.
Right.
And Greco took the real candle, and he stunned the real vampire and was like, come on, bitch.
Let's go. But guess what? No. She didn't want to go with him. But before anything could happen, guess what? Dan pops off a couple of shots, and Greco also falls down the goddamn cliff.
Like, same way as the doctor.
Like,
pop, 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 pop.
But at least, without a puncture wound to his chest.
Yes.
Yay.
Hooray! But Greco's a piece of shit.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
And he falls, and the mutant takes the candle.
Yeah. Yay.
And then the mutant appears to D, short of hand, and he stuns D awkwardly at an angle, a 45-degree angle, bleeding.
Man, no. See,
he stays that 45-degree angle for a solid 2 minutes.
No, I'm not. No, because that shit was God.
It was ridiculous.
Damn, ridiculous. Hold on.
Angle.
Hold on.
45-degree angle, just like. While Regenzi killed D with the paralyzing candle.
Now, yeah, I mean, it felt like he was like flat on the ground, and as soon as he got stabbed, it was just like, whoop. And I mean, in American cinema, you will also see that kind of weird ass shit. A vampire gets stabbed, and that motherfucker just like is in a weird fucking position, and his ass is just like stiff as a fucking board. If you watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the actual movie, and you see fucking the guy who played Pee Wee Herman, I forgot.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, that scene where he fucking won't die, and he's just like like the longest fucking vampire death scene I've ever seen in my entire life. But that basically is this with more action.
Yeah, because Vampire Hunter D is like, he bleeds for an hour and a half.
And he just fucking falls.
And
then Regenzi's like, you know what? You took my hand, I'm going to take yours. And he lops off his fucking face hand.
Yeah, it doesn't know it's face hand.
He doesn't know it's
face hand.
Yeah,
and
so...
throws the hand.
Yep. Hand for a hand, bitch.
And then he walks away.
Yeah. See, that's that James Bond shit. It was over-convoluted. Super over-convoluted, but I'm gonna leave dead dogs where they lie.
This is the part where you were talking about beginning with the hand art. So the hand that he chops off is actually the face hand, and the face hand turns into Thing from the Addams Family.
Yeah,
and
motherfucker, literally
way towards him.
Now, I want y'all to pay attention to the scene. I want y'all to see the same shit I kind of saw. This motherfucker, it looks deadpan as shit, but with a weird O face, like, like, I'm sorry you can't see the visuals on this right now, but I would say I'm doing my best to act this shit out with, with hands being the fingers.
But the hand
attaches
itself back to his arm.
It's so terrible.
And then eats dirt.
Yeah.
And it does it like 4 times, and it's the exact same...
Yeah, reuse animation.
Animation over and over as it grabs a handful of dirt.
Just like this weird snake creature that is also nearby somewhere. And then the forthcoming mist creature, which is the Mist Monster. They actually name it the Mist Monster. Like, woo, we knew what it was.
The hand is like, oh, it's coming.
Yeah.
And so
he gotta move fast.
And so he eats dirt.
Which I'm like, why does the eating of dirt allow for the vortex effect that it has? And then why are you using the vortex effect for no reason? Because you didn't pull anything in.
Yeah, he just used
at
the
all.
Vortex.
Yeah,
he eats like 4 piles of dirt.
Yeah.
Handfuls of dirt.
Yeah.
4 times.
Yeah.
Exact same animation.
Hits the vortex.
And then he hits the vortex for no reason.
And then the fucking Mist Monster literally comes over and he's like, oh shit, D's got a fucking hole in his chest.
And
D,
he's
wake the
trying
fuck
to
up.
hit D, like,
Yeah, it's like trying to
wake up,
resuscitate
wake
him.
up.
Like,
And then suddenly, shing!
yeah, as soon as the Mist Monster kind of descends upon him, he's like, okay. And sword comes out, and apparently his sword can cut this demon that couldn't be shot by...
Because it's a mist monster.
Yeah.
Literally red mist.
Red
And he
mist.
swings his sword,
And
and
cuts
chunks of meat appear.
Yeah.
And fall to the ground.
Like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Where did that come from?
Where? It's a Mist Monster.
The mist monster is gone. What
Where
the
did these
fuck?
Are you telling me that it has this phasing properties or some shit? I have no explanations.
Don't have any idea.
Any explanations?
So we cut from this. D's alive again.
Yes.
Hooray, everybody! And they go back to Mackenzie, who is angry.
Yeah. At this point,
he tried
also,
to ask the count.
Doris has been kidnapped. Straight
Doris
up.
has been kidnapped. Yes.
Dan has tried to save her. No. Too early.
Yeah, Dan hasn't tried to save her yet.
Yeah.
Doris got kidnapped when the three monsters came and tried to attack her. She attempted to bite off her tongue.
No. Second time.
No, that's right. The second time. Fuck.
Yeah, no.
Stupid ass fucking movie.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's fucking terrible because it's.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna leave it like
it's
that.
okay.
I'm just
it's
leaving it
okay.
like that.
It's okay. So, anyways, Dee's alive.
Mm-hmm.
Doris is kidnapped.
Yeah, Rigenzi got her.
Rigenzi got her. Yeah.
Dan
Oh,
follows.
he got her when he
immediately
Greco-
following.
when he killed Greco
Yes.
to
Yeah, because Greco wasn't dead. He
Greco-
came back.
Yeah, Greco was alive.
And he and then
Mackenzie
she's like,
killed.
yeah. He was like, got the fucking candle, and Rigenzi's like, oh, this bitch over here.
That's where the real candle was.
All right, cool. I got you, motherfucker.
Took the candle.
Yoink.
Took Doris. Took her back to the Count.
Yep.
Count was doing his wedding ceremony.
Yep.
And then Dan was like, fuck this. And he was trying to sneak into the castle.
Now, this is funny. Now, this is funny because Dan thinks he can actually go against the Count.
Yeah, because he jumps off of a pipe because, like, the Count's castle is kind of, like, underground with metal pipes.
Yeah, it's a
metal
mixture
walls,
of
sci-fi.
It's a mixture of caveman meets modern times meets what could have been. So
Yeah.
it's nobility in squalor.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, so Dan sneaks in through pipes or some shit.
Yeah.
And he jumps up and he's like, I'm going to hit the Count in the head.
With this
while
pipe.
he's walking with my sister.
Even with all that effort, the Count still has an invisible barrier around him, and Dan hits said barrier and literally rolls the fuck off and falls. And he gets saved by who? Rigenzi
saves him because he's pissed off because he
the
tried
Count-
to talk to the Count.
Yeah.
And the Count was like, okay, so I killed D. Can you give me my vampire immortality?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he was like, what?
Nick, you must be glad
What
you're
makes
alive.
you think that I'm going to give you immortality? You're lucky you're alive.
Right.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
And
So,
Mackenzie was like, oh yeah, motherfucker.
like, all right.
So
all right.
he goes and saves Dan because he's like, fuck this guy, this Count.
And he stays.
Fuck you.
He stays in that spot and stops the Count. And the Count's like, "What the fuck you doing here? I'm gonna get what I'm owed." Pulls out the candle, tries to stop him. He thinks he can stop him with that. Now,
The Count is like
Count is-
10,000 years old.
yeah, bruh is old as hell, so he's got power. So literally breaks the candle. And he's like, "Oh, you thought you was gonna stop me with that? All right, cool, I got you." And literally uses telekinesis and flings Rigenzi across multiple pipes
and breaks his face and
oh, bruh, he throws him up against a freaking wall over a doorway, and he's like, "Yeah, you done." And
then
straight crushes not crushes his head,
His
like
head
it makes his head
explodes.
explodes.
Yeah.
And I was like, the better part would have been to make him like an upside down cross for reverse Christianity, the whole devil thing. Cause,
Well, we're not gonna get
Well, I mean, because you know vampires,
right
So,
vampires and
you
shit.
know.
But
Symbolism. Looking for the
so
symbolism.
he tries to kill him, and the Count's still going on his march with like hundreds of disciples behind him.
Yeah.
That don't appear at all any other time.
No, until this wedding march.
Yeah, so they're doing their wedding march, and that's when Dan tries to attack him, and that's when
now
Mackenzie tries to kill him, and Dan's alive, Mackenzie's dead. He walks through the door, he goes to the final area, and he's like, "Ooh, time for the kiss." And he takes her head because Doris is like under a spell or something.
Yeah, she's like in that trance because vampires have that ability.
Right. So he like tilts her head and leans her head down, and he's like, "I'm going to bite you now."
Man, this nigga got so much drool running down his face, like he's salivating over a goddamn filet mignon or something, and then
and then a knife. And it's the funniest scene in the whole fucking movie because he acts like it's no big deal. A knife.
He did no
goes
screaming
into his eye.
It's like
and it's sticking out, and he just stops on his way to bite, sits up, casually pulls the dagger out of his eye. His eyeball comes
out of socket.
Out of the socket, and he just goes back into his eye. And he acts like it's no big fucking deal. Like this happens all the time.
I guess if you've been around for 10,000 years, you've been through some shit.
But it cracks me up because of his just casual nature of, there appears to be a dagger in my left eye. Allow me to pull this dagger from my eye. There is now my eye back into its socket. Here is the dagger. Shing! But anyways, dagger's thrown by D. Big surprise.
Now, D still being, Mr. Strong Silent type or whatever. And he's, at this point it's like he just kills vampires because he is sick and tired of their BS. You think you're so much better than everybody else. You fucking just take lies because you want to. So, fuck you. So, little quick fight, which is not really a great fight, honestly.
No,
it's so anticlimactic.
Because it's like D
gets flung around,
and then Lee, the Count Lee, flings him up against the wall like he did.
He straight telekinetically mind fucks him, flings him around.
Then suddenly D glows blue.
Yeah, he gets his blue eyes and
the Count's like, "Wait, you're Dracula's son?"
No, it's not even that he says, Jay's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, he comes down with a sword, and Magnus is like, clamp, stops it, and breaks off the tip. He throws it at D. D gets hit in the chest, and then D's like, "Fuck that shit," and stabs him in the chest, and he gets him hard enough to pierce him against the wall. And he comes down. He's like, "Man, fuck this shit." Takes the end of the blade out of his chest. He's like, "Man, the fuck out of here." And Magnus over here fucking bleeding out like a fucking river.
Yeah.
Like it's pouring.
And he sees his daughter and he's like, "Avenge me."
And she's like, "Man, fuck you."
Because D told her that she was also... No.
Oh, no. The Count was like, "Oh, bitch, your mama was a commoner too."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Man, I've been living like I was highborn the whole time." Nah, bitch, you ain't never been highborn, bitch. You a fucking half breed. Well. You ain't nobody.
And it kind of rocked her fucking world.
Oh yeah, so Daddy was on her list.
So then, after D ended up stabbing the Count was like, "Avenge me, daughter." The daughter was like,
"Nah, you need to." No, the House Magnus is done, son.
Yeah, House Lee is over.
House Magnus.
And she's like, "I'm gonna die like a noble." And so D turns out to be half Dracula.
Yeah, so apparently, because they finally show you the upper portion of that picture of Dracula that has been on the wall that Lamika was talking to earlier.
Yeah.
And it looks just like fucking D, basically. Yeah. So D is a direct descendant of Dracula, so you get at least a little bit of his history.
So he gets more power because of that.
So
because Dracula is the original vampire.
Yeah. And to me, I'm like, after watching so many shit with like Dracula, I'm like, that motherfucker's Alucard, basically. He's fucking Alucard.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too. Because after the Castlevania series,
oh yeah, fucking amazing,
phenomenal. I was like, yeah, he's fucking Alucard.
The first game of that the newer the newer series that depicts Dracula's birth from Gabriel Belmont.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what's it? Shadows.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a way. I mean, it was at least a three game series, and it was like 2 parts that were actual playable, and then 1 part that was just a downloadable game.
Yeah.
But bro, they were so good, so intricate.
I love those type of Metroidvania games. I love those.
I mean, I don't. You're taking this Belmont, who is a vampire hunter or a demon hunter. He's just, seeing his growth into. It was a forced. It was not a choice. It was, if I don't do this, I don't have a choice.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Vampire Hunter. Dude. He kills the Count. Congratulations.
Count's dead.
The noble, his daughter's like, I'm not noble born, so fuck it, I'm just gonna die like a noble.
I'm literally
being crushed by the castle.
Yeah, I'm literally the end of the House of Lee. So she just walks into the fucking falling rubble. I'm like, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. And then Dee saves the girl and Dan. And they go away, and the Count is dead. And so everybody else is dead, and then Amazing Suture Robots.
The castle literally shrinks into the ground, but then you have super massive flashes of all these various colors and shit getting sucked into the ground with the fucking castle, and you're like...
It's like 2 solid minutes of this...
Like, why?
Repeat of the same
Did you
colors.
You had nothing else to do? This is what you decided to animate? You were like, we need something to fill the time.
Robots like the fucking Simpsons.
We need something to fill this time, so we're just going to do this.
Yeah, we're just going to fill this because it was only an hour and 20 minutes.
And then as soon as that was done, we see Dee just strolling on his horse.
Yep.
And then as we have a montage of...
him walking in different places and doors.
Come back
and see us. We love you.
And he's got his fucking, apparently the tops of his cloak like wrapped around his fucking mouth, like Doctor Strange's cloak was just like, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, and he's like,
yeah.
And he has the caring eyes, and I'm pretty sure he ended up writing Doris's name into a list of books in a journal that's like, bitches I might come back to. Doris.
Hoes on the go.
Yeah, hoes on the goes. And they're on his little list because she's just like, come back to us. He promised you come back to us.
Yeah.
Motherfucker going out to fight vampires, and also he's emo as shit.
And
so
he can probably live for goddamn ever.
Yeah, so he's emo as fuck, so he's just going to go about
By the time he gets back to you, your ass will be a grandma.
Yeah. Killing vampires and shit. He's going to be like Captain America. And then, going back to Peggy.
Yep. And then we have the unnecessary travel montage. And I mean, when I say unnecessary travel montage, I'm like, y'all could have just ended it with them saying goodbye to him and him just riding off into the fucking sunset or some shit like an old gunslinger or something.
No, he walks into a pack of horses.
Yep.
He walks into the Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
He walks into a forest.
He fucks mountains.
The mountains.
Yeah, probably
the desert. He's
Everest.
on top of the mountain looking candidly into a sunset.
And then finally it fades to black. Finally it fades to black. So,
and then they sing that song at the end that they made specifically.
Jesus Christ, the fucking 80s were trash. I'm sorry, I've seen better anime series with better music than fucking Vampire Hunter D.
Okay, so Vampire Hunter D. Look, I loved it when I was a kid, but that was when it was like, it's kind of that idea when you taste an ice cream one time when you're a kid, and you're like, I remember that ice cream being the best ice cream ever. Yep. And then you don't taste it for 30 years. And then you try it again 30 years later, and you're like, this is trash. Why the fuck did I even like this ice cream? Oh, because I was 5 when I tasted it.
Kool-Aid jammers.
Yes.
They're gross as fuck.
They're gross. But when you were a kid,
delicious.
The best. Mm-hmm. And this is how Vampire Hunter D is. So, I give it... Are you ready for this? Are you ready? 3 tits out of 10.
You feel it.
It's better than The Stranger. Let's give it that.
Okay? I will give it that.
The Stranger was goddamn garbage.
For the animation, once again, my problem is that this could have been a fucking series and could have probably lasted at least 12, maybe 15 episodes and been fleshed out really good.
Oh, if it was fleshed out, it would have been really
yeah,
fun.
yeah. So you know what? No, I mean for you know what? No.
You're really upset.
2.8. 2.8.
You gave it less?
Yes.
I can't believe this.
I mean, I'm just like you. I remember watching it as a kid, and I was like, "Holy shit, this motherfucker's awesome." And now I'm looking at it like, "But why? Why was it awesome? Was it just because I was into dark, brooding main characters at the time? So it gets kind of like
everybody in the '90s. We were all grunge. We were all emo in our own way.
Right. That's the only reason I can see myself having watched this and been like, this fucking shit's the best, but it's not the best now. So, being jaded Jay of now in comparison to young Jay who just watched this and been awesome, thinking it was awesome, 2.8,
Okay.
So.
I mean, we're about the same anyways.
Yeah.
3, 2.8.
Yeah. Sorry for anybody who actually looked at IMDb's, scores like myself, who was just like,
no, this shit is the real rating. Me and Jay's rating, the real rating.
Yeah, because we can't. No, I'm not going to recommend something just because it's got a great name and it's a cultural icon for the time period.
No, you know what? I'm going to recommend this.
You really?
I'm going to recommend you avoid it.
Damn. See?
Burn, motherfucker!
Woo! Shit! That's got a little hot.
But yeah, Vampire Hunter D, after watching it when I'm older in comparison to when I was young, awful.
Yeah, not great. Not great.
Jay, what do we watch next?
You know what?
Do you have an idea yet?
I'm not going to let anybody know.
Are you going to surprise me?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to surprise you.
You're going to surprise me?
Surprise everybody. Hell yeah. Because you know what? We've done a great one, and we hit a straight trash. You know what?
Right.
I think
did another great one.
Yeah.
And then did more trash.
No, because we forgot Bubble. Bubble was
meh.
Yeah, it was fair.
Meh.
So what?
The art style made up for the
lack of story. So what we're gonna do is Jay's gonna surprise you with hopefully a either fair to middling or another amazing epic.
That's fine. That's fine. We're gonna surprise our listeners too.
Yeah. So stay tuned next time. It's a mystery. Good day.
Thank you so much for listening to the KJNA podcast. If you liked what you heard, you can always catch up with us by sending us an email. You got a question, you got a comment, you want to send some encouraging words. You can catch up with us at kjnapodcast@gmail.com. We're also on all the socials. We got the TikTok, we got the Twitter, we got the Facebook and the Instagram, all at KJNA Podcast. We also have a Patreon where you can catch extra episodes and bonus content that we don't have on here, also at KJNA Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.